Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
Wait, did I hear that right? Monsieur Neurvalette, are you sure you'd like to take over the case yourself?
That's right.
Oh, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are better left to the guards.
Neverlet! Sabine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Ugh, Traveler in Paimon, please help me talk our Chief Justice out of this. He wants to investigate a case on his own. Now, this is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective? Hmm?
I trust that you'd be able to work that out with how well connected you are, but I must apologize. I do not plan on relying on anyone else's help for this matter.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you've got to investigate personally.
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
Huh?
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you insist, I have no objections.
Thank you for understanding.
Then I shall return to my post for now. Should anyone visit while you are away, I will be sure to make a record of it.
Judging from Sadine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally.
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me of certain past events. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must eliminate all risks in advance.
Come on, stop being so serious.
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to revisit those memories and collect my thoughts. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Iudex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reforms. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
They must have been amazing people to
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. The reforms damaged the interests of some. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines. All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of Fontaine. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief and stir up conflict over Melusines in an attempt to lay the blame on me. I have nothing against the opinions of others, but the moment a whirlpool of conspiracy forms, it inevitably affects the innocent. It has already happened once, and I want to make sure it does not happen again.
Even so, why do you have to be the one investigating? There's the guards, the Marechaussee Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Aren't they?
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong to the same department. The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex. However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine...
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine? Why would you be an outsider?
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection between my responsibilities and how I perceive myself. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations. Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between dragons and taking on the role of... I've lived in Fontaine for a long time.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. Let's team up and round up all the bad guys.
That does not sound like a bad idea. Let us go.
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water?
Ugh. That sounds kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
The weather's amazing today.
Kiara.
Huh? Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the Traveler and Paimon. I've heard about you.
Aw, she's adorable! Hey there, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks for the compliments. Is there anything I can do for you?
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening letter.
A threatening letter? Oh, right! I remember now. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play hide and seek. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people recently?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious? Ah!
Did you think of something?
Nope. I don't remember meeting anyone like that.
Do you still have the letter with you?
Oh, let's see. Found it.
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. Don't say I didn't warn you. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals anything about the writer's intentions. We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the Palais Mermonia to review some official documents. Kiara, you should come with us. It's...
Sure! Wait, no. I still have a case to work on. I promised Alof that I'd check on her place later.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your own could be dangerous.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt Kiara can forget about it!
Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
Don't worry, your big sis Paimon is super strong!
All right, let us go our separate ways for now. Please take care of Kiara.
We'll take her to a lost place right away! So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the Court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago! Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange. Paimon felt like someone was...
Alof!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
I thought so. What brings you here? Did you run into any trouble?
It's anymore with us around.
May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course. Go ahead.
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection. Seems like the criminal from that case last month never set foot in here at all.
That was quick. What were you inspecting?
I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that us Melazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. Things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see their residual stains for some time. Pretty cool, huh?
All right. Now that you're done inspecting, can we have a chat? Hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month and wanted to hire you as my model. Is that okay with you?
Of course! Is there anything I need to do?
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be a perfect fit.
Seems like they get along really well. Huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us? Shh! Let's sneak over and take a look.
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
strange.
Gotcha!
Ah!
Charlotte, what are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threatening...
Threat letter? What threat letter? This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you mentioned. I only wanted to follow Monsieur Nouvelet.
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interviewing him is every journalist's dream. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the chance to interrupt when the court's in session. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. The perfect opportunity to whip up an exclusive, don't you think? Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made public knowledge.
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this in exchange. Could you tell me what the threat letter is about? I swear I won't tell.
All right, then.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little Melazine?
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed, others will know eventually.
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Nouvelet's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Besides, the case involves Melazines. Anyway, I'll get going now. Watch.
Well, that was a nice chat.
What do you think? The design looks pretty good, huh?
I think it's great!
Huh. It's very pretty indeed.
Clorinde! What are you doing here? It seems that you just showed up out of nowhere.
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Nouvelet was investigating a case with you. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial cases. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Nouvelet sure is lucky to have...
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Nouvelet.
Okay then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands. Come on, let's go.
Welcome to Palais Mermonia. Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered...
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities. It looks like Kiara is in good hands.
We thought so too. Well, did you find any leads?
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I've judged over the past decade. I've come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed a mysterious group.
They both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really finish browsing through all these documents? That's a lot of reading even for Paimon.
Don't worry. I'm a fast
We'll help you read through them. We have nothing else to do.
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free to browse through anything. Have you made any progress?
We skipped through some of them, but there wasn't anything useful. Oh, there are so many documents lying around.
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made a precise calculation myself. If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases.
Whoa, that's a lot. Look,
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties are, to me, simply routine. There are many documents here. Take a break if you are tired.
you read Paimon's mind.
All right, let us take a break then.
Even though resting is a part of taking a break, shouldn't we at least talk about something? All this silence is making Paimon feel really awkward.
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Mermonia for matters outside of work. To be quite honest, I am not sure what we should do. Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps? You must be thirsty after all that work.
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Novelette likes to drink. Oh, maybe he's a fan of really fancy wines. He seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like Diluc. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old water?
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon thought you'd prefer something more sophisticated.
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it sophisticated.
Huh?
I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine, including those that specialize in packaging pure drinking water. Said water is sourced from all across Teyvat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village, and Inazuma's Konda Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart. The waters of Chintsa Village have a poignant touch, while one might call the waters of Konda Village placid. Distinct differences exist between the waters of each area. You will appreciate their intricacies once you taste them carefully.
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think?
Nope. Paimon couldn't taste any difference at all. Isn't this just normal water?
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long way to go in refining your tastes.
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Paimon's pretty sure most ordinary people can't tell the difference. Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon? We are allowed to bring that up, right? Since no one else is around? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages. If you're the Hydro Dragon, why would you become Chief Justice in human society? Sorry. Paimon was just curious. You don't have to answer.
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organizing my thoughts. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you can't figure out?
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most concerns my own existence. In essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where my long life should take me. For a long time, my memory was rather incomplete. With regard to the primordial sea, for example, I used to only be able to vaguely recall its connection to me, but I was unaware of what that connection was exactly. Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Tevat. Abruptly visiting could very well pose an unpredictable risk.
True. Some of them have very unique personalities, too.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a long time. But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. Even I don't have the slightest idea what they mean. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself. By observing their behavior, perhaps I could one day understand the meaning of my existence.
Have you made any progress then?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. As an outsider, chances to engage in meaningful interactions with others are few and far between. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare.
Are we gonna continue reading these documents?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the topic of water a moment ago...
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. It is the vessel of countless memories and emotions. If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, they should also hold an intense resentment towards me. Perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the fountain.
Why didn't Paimon think of that? Come on, let's go take a look!
Perhaps we should go.
Monsieur Neuvillette?
Looks like we got lucky today. There's...
What should we do next? Oh, Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need you to take a few steps back and...
A safe distance? Oh, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The Court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many things I've never seen or heard before.
I understand your excitement, but there's no need to thank me. Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special...
I know, but I'm really glad to be of help. Not only can I repay you for your kindness,
but a meaningful life. Oh.
It's definitely the safest to just stay in the village. In truth, I've never for almost 20 years.
I understand your confusion. I too came here.
Really? The truth is...
Logically speaking, different identity. There aren't many
Oh, I'm confident...
I believe in you.
Huh?
Yes?
That stone-faced human...
He is an earnest man.
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello, I'm Carol, a Melusine. Is there anything you need help with?
Get away from here! I'm calling the guards.
Please, calm down. I don't mean to cause...
Hard to say. Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Neuvillette allowed them into the Court of Fontaine just—
Exactly! That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for investigating cases as well. I swear.
Go away! Quit acting innocent!
I'm not leaving. We joined the Mari Shosei Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases. We've never done anything wrong.
Solving cases? With Neuvillette in cahoots with you? You could have... So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melazines aren't involved in anything that occurred
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, there have indeed been an increase in cases recently.
Even the... How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah, I don't understand.
There have been rumors saying that there are countless negative rumors of...
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both... I still want to try a little harder. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time.
Give them to me. We'll hand them out to...
Monsieur Neuvillette, what's this?
Medals of Peace, awarded to you and Vautrin. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years.
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. It won't be long before Melazines begin living peacefully with the humans. Just the thought of it...
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface.
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood!
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust, please be on your guard for the next...
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Medal of Peace?
Are you sure we should do this? We're no...
Nah, not gonna happen. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. Unless he wants... So quit worrying and just go ahead.
I guess you're right.
Turn the murderer in!
Melazines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too! Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of the old regime. They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Neuvillette confess to his mistakes and yield up power. The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll...
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated citizens and the guards.
That is indeed...
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to Monsieur...
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access to all info...
Restrict access to... Wait, are you...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was very young. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd...
Looks like she was
Yes. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to... Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind. Only through bloodshed can their debt...
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Neuvillette wouldn't accept that as a solution.
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the crypt. Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settled the score with the group that framed his.
I'm thinking we should try our best to bail him out when the trial commences.
Bail him out? Why?
Shh, keep it down. Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Nervilette's most trusted subordinates. After everything that happened to Carol, Nervilette's guaranteed to do everything he can to keep Vautrin around. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Nervilette's status is secure as can be.
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents the justice he upholds. Please, think about it. If the same thing had happened to you, wouldn't you feel the same way he did? Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking revenge?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, your revenge could be seen as a form of justice. I understand your decision, which is why I cannot help but feel regret, and personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you abused your authority and conducted informal executions. Therefore, you will be declared guilty.
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Neuvillette, please give this a little more thought.
Vautrin, my friend, is there anything else you...
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Is this what justice means to you?
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Vautrin will be declared guilty.
Goodbye, monsieur.
This all happened because of Carol's naive idea.
How can different species peacefully coexist anyway?
What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it still caused the emotions within the Fountain of Lucine to boil over, due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you as well.
Wow. The Hydro Dragon is more powerful than Paimon thought. Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine. No emotions, but...
It is as you said. This might be because I am different. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine.
That sounds awesome!
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to... It was a coincidence. You should now understand...
Still leave Paimon out of the conversation.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating I did not sense too much hatred. I don't know what caused... However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara.
Oh! Didn't we read about...
You've read about it. In that case, the resentment should...
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look for you at the Palais Mermo...
Navia! Nice to see you again!
I've heard some things, but I'm not purpose... Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're investigating them. So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the Fleuve Cendre lately. Maybe you'll find the
Thank you. Where did you hear about all...
The Chief Justice out on investigation. accompanied by the traveler from afar. No matter how you conceal your whereabouts, you talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information.
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long.
You know, anyway, any progress?
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case. We are planning to return to the Palais Mormoni.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di... Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neverlet, do you think there'll be any problems now?
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not... What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the old... I hope the same won't happen again.
Strange. What are these people doing out on the streets so late at night? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melazine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating in person.
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melazines? Show yourself!
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of hiding will keep us from...
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have already begun to think about how much we owe them.
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now.
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something happen?
We were informed that. Nope. We just finished.
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert shop
This isn't a good time to be out. Come on. Don't act...
All right. You should never skip meals.
I heard even Nervulette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted.
Seriously? Were you...
Relax, I was just...
That's more like it.
Come and fight me instead, you cowards!
Have you heard? Even the special patrol came... Shh! Look! Is it that Nervulette?
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So... wanna...
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary commotion. Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Mormonia. The smuggling case was... The list of involved suspects should...
What does it say?
The principal offend... Those with close connection. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior.
So many names.
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin, to be precise. It seems like he's closely related to the...
Monsieur Nervalette, someone claiming to be from the Spina di Rosula just checked in with us. He said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect. They're chatting at the cafe."
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly?
I, too, am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here. We should head over and take a look.
the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
Invite them over?
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to come and have some.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for ages.
Something feels, but... oh well. Let's get back to business. Is there anyone called Essan here?
Yes, that's me.
You're Essa?
Yes, monsieur. Nervy.
Did you write that threatening letter to Kiara?
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as much as I could do.
You've done more than enough. I am extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
All right then, let's head to the...
It's Monsieur Nervalet?
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself!
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person.
That's an easy one. Let me think.
Did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened? Citrin! Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned. Really? Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about that?
Head nurse. Do you require me to
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico.
Think of it as more of a humble request. Thanks for the trouble.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Nervillet would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary. And watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink?
Paimon's not that thirsty, but
Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about.
typical Sijun. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from...
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
What's that?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to make...
Sounds like a pretty neat
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress, but people won't give us a hard time if we...
Interested in joining the Mutual? If you'd like to learn more, here's our slogan may have evolved here.
You two look kind... It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those. The first president of all of us have a lot of...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace.
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh! So the network was inspired by...
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office.
All right.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want?
Calm down. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to...
That idiot! I can't believe...
Let me ask this another way. It was your...
Yeah.
Who is pulling your
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done.
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth.
I can do that.
You see,
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a check. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, but I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right?
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines?
My initial target was Nervillet. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him, after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force it to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sijuin, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Nervillet.
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had...
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermon.
Monsieur Nervillet, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you, and even consider right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place will... While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Mermonia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business.
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way.
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that...
Yep. Neverlet thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer, and to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's... That's all from me. Does anyone...
I don't have any... Well then, let us head back.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you hey, any comments?
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy, so I asked her to stay inside the Palais.
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled to celebrate this joyous occasion. Monsieur...
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Yes! Thank you so much, Monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all. Kiara?
Monsieur Neuvillette? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's...
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, so... By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? I haven't seen... In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, "Kiara, our dreams have finally come true." I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Monsieur Neuvillette, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot! Am I allowed to go out now? I promised to model for Alov.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur, Traveler, and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.
You've got this. I can't wait to see how it'll all turn out. How exciting.
Whoa, is that our hero, the Traveler? Oh, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Mrs. Coiffier already told me you were the big boss, but when I saw you just now, I forgot myself for a moment.
Tactically speaking, the Cheval Moran film, isn't it the idea that... But, wait a...
Well, not long ago, in her letter, she mentioned that showcasing my orchard's product after talking it through with my parents. Now that I'm done with the rest...
The thought of enjoying fresh fruit from Nairland here in Fontaine does, but with this many customers, wouldn't it be exhausting to watch this stuff?
Huh? Am I supposed to be watching the stall the whole time? There's an attraction over there called Movie Masterpieces, right? Some of those films have even been adapted.
So, you're not...
Back in the collective of... When closing time came around, I...
To be fair, that Fontainian Cup Plus, if you just...
In that case, but I'll need to... I promised to bring... Oh, and I also wanted... In that case... Hello, boss. I'm from the Collective of Plenty.
Wait a sec. Why does Iansan need clockwork mech?
Nothing like that. Our coach just wants to fine-tune her. She mentioned something. The parts that connect the ropes and weight plates where...
It all sounds so technical.
To be honest, I don't really get all the details either. And if it doesn't, we can always stick... If you're interested, I can show you a few beginner exercises. You'll be able to smash the records without even breaking... You can always try the weight trainings for... All right, time to show off how fast I can run. I'm gonna go.
That's right. Funnily enough, Paimon...
No need to worry about me, guys.
Woohoo! That was... How was it? Did you get through all the levels?
It was amazing! Not only did I'll focus on doing business this time round, but if there's ever another event like this, please let me know as...
Yep. You know what? We should let you design the levels! Paimon
That would be great! Seeing how happy... Would you like some fruit?
encouragement leaves Paimon feel... But now we have our Oh, you mean we could now that you mention it, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, like, the workload won't be... With Siege, It's been a few days. Ban on flying objects should be over by now. Let's head over to the Palais Mermonia to see how Kakuku's doing. Us? Wait, but Paimon hasn't seen... all of them? That's some serious... Paimon had no idea Lenny was so into horror films. Well, that's a side of Lenny we've never seen before. Don't even think about roping Paimon into this! Sounds like eclectic escapades would be... Still, if you're... Great idea! If we can get Lenny on board, the Dia? Paimon didn't expect to see you here either! Guess that's not scenery most Fontainians see every day, huh? Wait, aren't fight scenes supposed to be as realistic as possible?
Delighted to hear that you've been in. I just need.
That's right, Lenny.
Oh, wait. In that case, just.
Sounds good!
Thanks for inviting. I must say, seems like. Oh, and did you see those weird mushrooms?
That might not be possible. Are you sure about that? Paimon's.
The other two attractions were.
Sorry, but how come you seem so familiar with this? Where do we begin? Huh? So we could become mercs too? That actually makes a lot. Who knows? Maybe we'll find jobs.
Something you wish to report? Go on. You have my undivided... attention. Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you. Like what you see.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. What? Thank you for completing.